Ben Watson, ZOAR Fitness, and this is the name game. So, today's workout, number 6, is Hades. So it's for max accumulative reps. So we're trying to get as many reps as possible, which isn't uncommon, but it's an interval, and it's only one movement at a time. So from 0 to 2 minutes, you're doing max burpee box jump overs at 24 inches or 20 inches. And then from 4 minutes to 6 minutes, so in other words, you get a 2-minute break, you do max devil's press with 50, 35 per hand, and that's pounds. And then it's going to repeat. So from 8 minutes to 10 minutes is that max burpee box jump overs once again. And then from 12 minutes to 14 minutes is the max devil's press. So burpee box jump over, rest, devil's press, rest, burpee box jump over, rest, devil's press, and then you're done. All right. So it's definitely going to be an interesting, different kind of workout. It should be fun, but also extremely challenging at the same time. So standards, let's get into this. Burpee box jump overs. So before, last week we actually had one, the burpee box jump over, but it could be laterally, it doesn't have to be facing the box. This week it has to be facing the box. However, there's a big difference this week in the fact that you do not have to jump the box jump over. So it's maybe technically like a burpee get over, right? Where you can step up and step over. Obviously, you can always step down the burpee, but now you can actually step up into the box jump as well. So obviously you can, maybe not obviously, but you can step up the burpee as well. So that's on scale. So you could step up, like lunge step, you can step up onto the box and go over. That being said, it's only 2 minutes, so you might not choose to do that. A lot of people, higher level athletes will choose and opt to move with the faster variation. Anyway, so the workout flow, again, it's a 1-to-1 work rest in each of these intervals. So it's from 0 to 2 minutes, and then it starts back up at 4 minutes. So it's 2 minutes of work, 2 minutes of rest, moving through this, and it repeats itself twice. You're gonna see each of these movements 2 different times. Equipment setup, it really doesn't matter at all, because you just put your box somewhere, put your dumbbell somewhere. You have plenty of time transition between the two, so it really is irrelevant in this case. So my initial thoughts of the workout is, I was the one who wrote it, so I was thinking about, in terms of pacing, it would really be dramatically different. Say if I put 2 different movements together, like a burpee box jump over and like a dumbbell power clean. Those would be kind of weighted against each other. Like the dumbbell power clean you'd be so much more advantageous to do quick, fast, and accumulate a lot more reps of the power clean than it would be to do the burpee box jump over, just because power clean reps are going to take maybe 2 seconds, burpee box jump over reps are going to take 4 or 5 seconds. So that's kind of the balance that you're playing here. Whereas if it was really to take this extreme, if it was like a burpee box jump over and double unders, I might not even do any box jump overs. I might just rest as much as possible to get a big unbroken set of double unders and try to get as many reps as I could there. So these two, on the other hand, are very balanced. They're each going to take maybe 4 or 5 seconds for the average person if they're continuously moving to do either a burpee box jump over or a devil's press. So they're both very long cycle time movements, which is why I prepared them together. And that being said, if you did one every 5 seconds, either one, that means that across those 2 minutes, that's going to be 24 reps. And that's moving at a fairly, I don't want to call it a relaxed pace, but definitely like a smooth kind of pace. And yeah, I don't think most people are actually going to be able to sustain that the entire time, just because these are movements where it's not like you get any rest or break between them. It's like you're constantly sort of on it. It involves a lot of different muscle groups, even though they are just a single movement. So that being said, it's definitely going to be who can sustain and hold their technique and a decent cycle speed across that entire time, and when they come back around the second time, not die as they're doing that. So other things, there's no transitions, so it's all about continuous sustainable movement, and it's a 1-to-1 work rest ratio. So we do a lot of interval stuff where it's let's call it very close to a 1-to-1 work rest ratio, and this is exactly that. So you all who are following the protocol should be very prepared for that. And if you're one of my individual design athletes, you do plenty of this kind of work. So the other thing I would think about in that 2-minute break. That gives you enough time where if you want to, if you have the capacity, you certainly can, for example, you can catch up on your breathing, but you are probably gonna not be able to catch up on it. Like if you drove a ton of local fatigue, like in a muscle, it's probably not gonna recover. So in other words, if you blow up your triceps by doing devil's press and the burpee and all the pressing that's in these two movements, you're probably gonna really have a big drop off in performance. Whereas if it's more so just the cardiac and the breathing, like your heart rate and respiration, that's really up, you'll recover much better over those 2 minutes. So it's really seeing who can make these movements global, involving the entire body, and making sure that your muscular endurance is high enough where you can sustain it. It's a fancy way of saying like we're going to see what your capacity is. Warm-ups in the comments for those of you who are not signed up for the protocol. The full warm-up is built out there. If you're someone who's following along, feel free to check that out. Everybody else, it'll either be in your individual design sheet or on the website. So good luck with it. And if you're someone who is not signed up for the protocol, you can get a free week by going to zoarfitness.com/theprotocol.